Today we will install locks on a Mercedes Vito. If we look at the height placement on the rear doors, it is between the seam from here all the way up to here. The lock can be freely placed exactly where we want it on this door. Even on the side door of this Mercedes Vito, we can install the lock from this height all the way up to the roof seam. Free placement on the side door. We start by cleaning the surfaces of the vehicle. When we place the drilling template on the rear doors, it is important that the black line on the drilling template extends over the door panel to prevent the screws coming from the inside out from hitting the edge of the pillar. On this car, we move the black line to the left so that it creeps over the edge of the door panel. This is to provide more space for the screws that come from the inside and out. We move it to the left so that the black line runs just over the edge of the door panel. When we apply the drilling template to the side door, the black line should be aligned edge to edge with the door panel. We position the drilling template so that the black line aligns edge to edge with where the door panel wears. We mark the holes that we are not going to drill. On the side door, we have 3 holes that we do not drill on this Mercedes Vito. I use a power punch to prepare for the drilling. On the end plate, we carefully move all the holes 2 mm slightly inward for better play, to the right. For the side door, we proceed in the same way, just like in the center. On the door side, we maintain the same approach. But for the final touch, we drive a little down and a little inward to buy the game. We cut into the drilling template to open the doors. We pre-drill with a smaller drill, 4 or 5 mm in size, on all the holes. We drill the holes at the far end of the door. It is advantageous to open the door so that there is no risk of drilling into the pillar and the rubber. If the door is closed, it becomes much easier to drill. We repeat the steps on the side door and the body, ensuring that each step is followed with care. Open the side door before we drill the holes, making sure the door is fully open and secure to avoid any potential damage. We drill the 2 holes that are furthest out on the door side to 6.5 mm. We drill the 3rd hole from the top to 6.5 mm all the way through the entire post. While we have the 6.5 mm or so drill bit on, we take the opportunity to drill the holes at the far end of the side door to 6.5 meter. Now switch to a 9 mm drill and drill the other 3 holes to 9 mm only in the outer plate. We continue with the side door, where we drill all 4 holes to 9 mm and also the hole on the door side to 9 mm. The hole farthest to the right for the emergency cable should be drilled to 7.5 mm. Now we will stick the drill template for the emergency cable on the back of the post and the inside of the door. We start by marking for the hole drilling. We start drilling with a smaller drill, 4 mm. When we drill from the inside out, it is important to be careful to avoid breakthrough, which would leave a mark on the outside of the door. Drill carefully. Now all 3 holes in the post should be drilled to 7 mm, 7.0 mm. Now we will remove all the burrs, and you can use a countersink or a manual deburring tool. I am using a countersink today. Now we begin with the rust protection. We run cavity wax in the cavities as a treatment. We paint the surfaces with a high-quality rust protection primer to ensure durability and longevity. Now, we will proceed to the next step, which is riveting. We carefully use the nut riveter and take out the long split rivet to secure the materials. If the lock has been placed lower on this door, there are reinforced plates down here. Then you should use the short split rivet instead of the long one so that you do not pull in the car's body. Now we do not currently have reinforced sheet metal, so we therefore use the large split rivet. But if there is reinforced sheet metal, you should appropriately use the short rivet instead. When inserting the long split rivet here, it bottoms out in the body. Angle it sideways, gently push in and firmly press. Then the split rivet will come. When pressing the split rivet, it can split so that it moves away from the hole here to the emergency cable. Press together and angle the nut riveter so that the split rivet shifts, and tighten it so that it ends up in a cross shape. Even on the side door, we specifically use the long split rivet in all 4 holes for the end plate on the body side and one in the door side, ensuring it is carefully and securely fastened. When we are going to install the split rivet on the side door, this rivet also bottoms out if you push it in straight. Insert the rivet diagonally and press it. We are changing the fitting from M6 to M5. This outermost part also needs to be replaced with M5. It is indeed absolutely very important. Now we take the small M5 split rivets and secure them in the upper hole and the lower hole. Now we will carefully stick on the black masks. We will peel it. Carefully follow the hole drilling and securely stick it on. Follow the line of the door leaf and stick it on. And we do the same on the side door. We follow the hole drilling and stick on the drill template. Sorry, I blacked out. On the rear door, we take out a small shim, 2 screws with a ball head and washer, and secure them on the closed rear door. Now we take an end cap, a long screw with a countersunk head, and a short screw, countersunk head, 25 mm. We take a washer, nuts and bolts, and meat at the back. Even on the side door, we use 2 screws with ball heads, washers, and secure the shim set. Now we take out 2 screws with countersunk heads and fasten the end cap. Now that we are going to install the lock on the inside door, we need to cut off the tab on the base plate. So we take out an angle strip and cut it straight across there. Take a shim, a base plate, and a screw that is 20 mm long with a countersunk head, and secure it in the hinge on the opening door. Don't tighten too much. Feel with your thumb here so that it flexes a little bit, but not too much. It should be just the right amount of tight, because we need to be able to attach the lock behind the base plate. Take out the lock that does not have an emergency key, manually lock the bolt with your finger, place the lock. Next to the base plate, press and push with your hand at the far left to angle the plate so it slides on. Once you have a grip behind, we pull it sideways until it clicks. If the black rubber gets stuck and ends up outside, you can cut it off with a pair of wire cutters. If it's just a little bit like on this car, we can just take a screwdriver and press it into place. Take out 2 screws with ball heads, washers that have their own Loctite on them, and secure from the inside out. We have carefully tightened the screws and securely. Unlock the lock before we examine the door. Check that everything works satisfactorily and safely. We take out the lock with the emergency wrench when we are going to install it on the back door. We put the lock in our pocket, and then we carefully thread the screw through the shim and the base plate. We open the back door, take the cable, and thread it through the door before we screw the base plate in place. To more easily attach the lock behind the base plate, it is advantageous to close the door, to be able to use your body weight to press, keep the cable taut, place the lock next to the base plate, press at the far end so that we can get a grip behind, keep the cable tightly stretched while you gently pull the lock sideways. Take out 2 screws with ball heads, small washers, secure the lock. When we are going to carefully and with precision safely secure the red plastic button, we should gently open the gold-colored nipple approximately about 7 full turns to the left. After completing this step, we carefully take the cable, and then we manually lock the bolt. Insert it through the small hole up and down. Here, the lock is not open. We need to apply force to get it through. Now when we pull it forward, it is one way. If we want to rewind, it is guided. We can pull it forward but not backward. If you have pulled it too far, you can press down the gold-colored nipple, and then you can rewind the tape. Manually lock the bolt with your hand. Pull the plastic button towards the side of the post, and then it is perfectly adjusted. Take 2 M5 screws with a countersunk head and secure the emergency button. Once you have secured everything and it works well, cut the emergency cable. If you don't have a small pliers, you can push it out in the air and cut it. Trim off the excess of the screw on the back door. Check that the door and the lock function as they should. We carefully lubricate the lock with CRCS lock oil. Finally, we blow clean all the car's surfaces with compressed air